How's it, all you beautiful people out there? Welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and it's an absolute privilege to have you all here with me this afternoon, evening, should I say? Yeah, and it has been a busy one. I hope the sound is okay because, yo, DVD. Thank you. How's it? Let's see who's all here. Hello, Buzzy. I'm sorry, I've been so flippin' hectic. Cameron, how's it going, my friend? Wife is here. Words are clean. Hendo, my favorite European. Yes, there we go. Nick Miller and DVD. Yes, you're downstairs, buddy. How's it going? And yeah, as I say, it's been a pretty hectic afternoon. Unfortunately, as you can see, Sean, wow, how's it, my friend? I must give you a big thumbs. Let me go thumbs up. Great to see you. It is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit darker, and I've tried to put a little bit of a background in because if I go there, you will see it is blank behind me. I have been thieved. There has been theft in my house. So I have I've tried to put at least something for the eye candy at the back there. Hello, Fiona White Zulu. No, you have not missed the stream. You have got me droning on. I have sinus of note. I have on this side of my face a flippin' soccer ball thing of note coming out over here. So, yeah, was at the doctor again yesterday, but apparently, unfortunately, I will live. So hold on to those insurance policies. I think my buddy Niels is hoping that he doesn't have to go for more than 3 months on his payments because it's a pretty big one. Yeah, but otherwise, all good and fine. Week has been hectic. Finished off school at last. Well, we're not finished with school, but the students are finished with school at last. So we go back to pick our noses for the next 2 weeks. And then hopefully we get a week's leave. And then I'll be back for 2 days again. I think I'm actually going to go in for school for those 2 days, for that week as well. And then, yeah, then it's all kinds of things. But yeah, so before we carry on, what you've been watching now, I'm going to try this, but bear with me while I try this because I have no second screens. As I said, everything's gone. Even my face is probably a little bit darker because the light has gone. Everything except for the laptop and the mic over here, courtesy of DVD. Thank you very much. I'm busy using his mic at the moment. So yeah. You love the doctor and especially the nurse with a big injection. Dude, they're all male nurses, yes. So I'm a little bit worried, bro. I'm a little worried. But yeah, thanks, Endo. Thanks for the thought. Cameron, lunch break. Welcome back. Welcome back. So what you've been watching, I'm going to try this now. So hopefully it pulls out okay. Don't forget to catch the Colonel, and not from the Cobb, from Pennsylvania. Colonel Chris Wyatt. He's got the best knowledge, views, and reviews in South Africa that you can actually get the honest news opinion from. And sadly, he has had to do his other channel, Rugby Ascendant, and he has had to do commentating on a dreadful rugby match yesterday between the All Blacks and the South Africans, Springboks. Sadly, I need to say well done to the All Blacks because they really played it. They brought their own game, and I'm sorry, South Africa, we can't even blame the ref. You just weren't in it, and you need to be in it to win it, and they did not bring their game. Next, our boykie from the Bay, don't forget, Ronaldo Gous. He's always around, our best DA counselor. He's always got a really good show with good stuff to chat about as well. Always going on the rounds. I have sadly once again not been up to news and views and watching my streams as I should be. I have been stressing. Then our very dear and wonderful lady in waiting, never forget, White Zulu. Fiona, her book, I think you should have a new one out soon. Take a look when your last one come out. One day ago. Chapter 70, 3 73, sorry. Midnight swimming and camping. Oh, you did skinny dipping too, hey, Fiona? This is where Hendo's little Stotoboki stories come in very, very well. And if you do not get enough of Fiona on her story, you can always go to www.whitezulubook.com. Not just www.whitezulubook.com. And there you will find the story of a misplaced South African. I never said misplaced childhood. Sorry, that's the guys who grew up in gambling houses. And there you will find a very, very dear Fiona there as well. There we go. Fiona's part her link to her website up as well there. Thank you very much. Now, let me unshare that and try and get a full picture back in. Yeah, boom. Right, I think I know. Our bot, our favorite 6-star Michelin chef. How's it going, my friend? One of these days, I'm going to have another flag over here. I'm very careful about putting that flag up there. Don't want to get flagged for anything. But yeah, we shall see how it goes. I'm really, really going to try. I think I've got, 1 or 2 shows left before I actually have the big move. And then we will, what's Hendo say? Fiona loves her surfer parties. I bet you it was a skinny dip party. I don't think it was a surfer party. But it's for you to hear the stories, chapter 73. So if you are wanting to find out more about Fiona's skinny dip, go and tune in and listen carefully. But yes, so I haven't got very, very much to talk about tonight. As usual, I am winging it away. And there's one thing that I did come up with this week, and that is when people or you pass people that are begging or maybe ask for money or are sitting in the street or something like that, do you give money? What do you give? What is your reaction to it? What is your absolute feeling? Dodgy China flag. I'm not putting that up there. Hi, good evening, Pastor Carl. How are you keeping, my friend? Always good to see you as well. Fiona says we dipped with our cozies on. Yeah, that's what you say, Fiona. We weren't there. But yeah, so what I want to know is when you pass somebody in the street or you see somebody in the street next to your car or walking past, or maybe sitting there with a little pencil or whatever, etc., in need of money, requesting money, change. Do you give money? Don't you give money? What do you give? When do you give? When won't you give? When will you give? And how do you see that? What's Cameron saying? No, I need money myself. White Zulu says begging is illegal in the UK. You tell Parliament that. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, tell our government begging is illegal. And if the screen hops a bit like this, I'm very, very sorry. I'm on a portable table as well. So my desk has also left the room. Elvis left the building as well. White Zulu says busking is allowed in certain places, but begging is not. Hendo says prefer giving food than money. How many of us look at these people and try to turn the blind eye, if I can put it that way? I don't know if I can find what I'm going to be looking for now, but it was actually a very, very cute picture. Let me see. No. I might be able to find it. I'm just taking a look to see quickly if I can see a picture. I hope I'm not showing you a whole search thing. Divin, I think I sent it to you. The one with the little dog. Mind you, I sent you so many things that I don't know if I'll find it now. It was quite a good meme. Okay. Let me do what I should do and actually try and look it up on the internet. Meme. Trying not to look at the Chinese. I can find the meme, great. It was pretty cute, but I can't find it. If somebody's got it, send it to me. It's the one with the two little dogs, and the one dog's looking away while he's trying to eat. While the one's sort of eating. Divan, did you find it? Okay. Divan sent it to me. Thank you, DVD. Let's see if I can find it now. Is this you? This is what I want to know. So when you find somebody in need, okay, now I'm going to have to try and share this thing. How am I going to do that? Okay. Sorry, an absolute great state of trying to share something, yeah, on a laptop with one screen is just not working very, very well for me at the moment. Share screen, window. Let's see. Is this you? Me trying to avoid eye contact with a random Chinese kid that came to my table at the restaurant. Let me remove that and try and get back and just read some things. So what do we got? Prefer giving food than money? Yes, most people do prefer giving food than money. Arbot says coins, no notes, or I give food that I tell the shops not to refund it. Yeah, that's another thing is being careful. You know what? We've grown a stigma to people buying illegal stuff. Sean says empathy for the less privileged is important for our own mental health. It's a bit of a shock to the system, a true one there. Cameron says begging in South Africa is not illegal. Yeah, we have the cathones to beg from Russia and Ukraine. Throw loose change into Busker guitar cases. It's DVD. Hello there, not me. Hello, our little fur buddy is another. Hello, Debbie. How are you? We're busy talking about giving. No, not giving as in giving things, but when people beg, or if you're walking past somebody less fortunate or underprivileged or a beggar or something like that, do you choose to give to them, or do you choose not to give to them? What do you choose to do? How do you do that? What do you do? Nick says, I do not give any money to I do not give any money to burgers or beggars. I do support local charities as far as possible. Cameron says he meant to say kahoonies. Okay, now we assumed as much there. We were just worried you were going to go say bollocks or something like that. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, okay. So what do you do? Do you walk past? There's so many different things to look at, because I used to sit in my car and you get these little guys begging next to the window. You can see this guy's probably weighs next to nothing. He's malnourished. He's not well dressed. But my problem is the money going to him? Because under a tree just further down from where the crossing is, there's a couple of big guys sitting and they've got to bring the money to them. So where is the money actually going? That's a big concern. I like to be able to see where my money works. But then there's another saying that goes, I'd rather know that I've been caught for a sucker than know that I let someone go hungry. Yes, I agree. Where's Arbot saying there? You know what? If I come out, if I'm at a garage, or I don't know, what do you call a garage in other countries? Filling station, gas station, petrol station. They have a convenience store there. I usually look and maybe I'll go inside and buy a plate of pop and meat and cool drink, and I kid you not, it cost me an arm and a leg the one day I went in there not so long ago, and I thought, oh well, this should cost me $10-15, and I think it came out like $40-50 later, a cool drink and a pop and meat thing. And I thought, no wonder the poor man's begging. He couldn't afford that if he tried. But the thing is, the next thing is people say, do you want to encourage it? I know on the streets in Kimberley, at one stage, many moons ago, they gave people tickets, little tickets. I think they're little red tickets, if I'm not mistaken. And if somebody was begging, you could give them a red ticket, and they could take those tickets to a certain place or shelter, and they would get a hot meal and something to drink. And they had to stop it eventually because the whole of the city became littered with these tickets. So obviously people weren't too, how should I say, interested in the tickets. But how many people are not interested in those tickets? How many people are trying to make a living? How many people are trying to make ends meet? How many people are not wanting food? Maybe they can get a bread. Maybe they can get something to eat. How many people are trying to make rent is the next question. What's Debbie say? Is this our new practice? Run with flags? Sorry, late. No, Debbie. It's just that, let me see if I can get back to the settings again. If I go do this, my whole place is empty. I am an empty hole. So I've tried to make it a little bit of eye candy for you at the back there. Fun with Flags by Cameron. But yeah, street children begging for money to buy glue for sniffing back in Plet. That's the problem. That is the next problem. You know, and how do you negate that? Because, as I said, the next question is not only do you often see these street children begging, but the money doesn't really go to them. Cameron's says food stamps, yes, something like that, but they're not there. Debbie says virtual hug. Hello, Cameron. Okay, everyone's getting hugged. My parents gave once a guy. Let's take a look at what Cameron says. My parents once have a guy that came to our door begging. They gave him sandwiches, and the guy threw them into the gutter. See, that's the possibly the many that suffer at the hands of the few. Because I'm going to throw another penny in the pond here as well. You're too kind, but progress is good, packaged and ready to go. Yeah. That's why, as I say, I've only got the laptop now. I don't have two screens. I'm actually struggling away The mic is courtesy of DVD. I don't have lights on me at the moment, but yeah, we'll see. But I want to throw another thing into the river, into the stone, into the pond now. Charities. Charities have these huge events and things like that, especially when you start getting the rich and shameless. And we have charities for these people in this country. And apart from the fact that they're busy charitizing and doing charities, would you get such a word as charitizing? But anyway, doing charities for everybody in Ethiopia and freaking Sri Lanka and wherever, etc., where we've got people starving back home. But then they have these big charity events, and you can have the dinner, and you dress to the nines, and you pay so much. My question is, then you get the charity CEO, and that CEO drives nothing less than top-of-the-range BMW with a house in Santon, with a CEO's salary as head of a charity organization. Now, my friend, how do you propose your money to that charity is spent? And I'm not saying that the people at the bottom don't get the money, but what I am questioning is how much of that money are they getting when this charity is running like a corporation? Just a question. I'm not going to name any charities. That's very sweet. That's very cute. You used to give them 10 Rand with a message of motivation. I know a friend of mine, he goes to Ethiopia quite often for work, and they give him, I don't know, not quite sure what's the money there, but he can't really use it very much, and that, so they just swipe their cards, and then he takes the notes and he puts it into a little Bible and he gives it to them, and he just says, Jesus loves you, and he gives it to them, and hopefully they go for the Bible and do something proper with the money. But my question is, these big charities that have the charity events and the big launches and things to that effect, etc., and these CEOs that have smart cars and offices, and you need to make an appointment to see that CEO. What's it? It looks like I'm in a go-kart shop. Go-kart. What's in I say, babes? It looks like you're in a go-kart, hopping up and down, face purple, smiling. I'm sorry, I don't have the light on me. In a go-kart is the table, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and sit as still. Let me try and take my arms off the table. But yeah, how much do the charities take for management? Hendo says, I'm suspicious of UK charities. A large portion of the money goes to administration. Now, this is what I want to know. What is the charity administration? So, is my money going to a charity, especially those who have a debit order for it monthly? I mean, for 60 Rand a month, you can feed 20 children a month or something like that. Or you can, for 50 Rand a month, you can make sure that one child gets fed every month. How much of that 50 Rand feeds the child, and how much of that 50 Rand pays the CEO's BMW? That is my question that I have as I go along the line. I'm trying to read as I go along because I'm falling back. That's the word I was looking for. Admin. Thank you. There we go. Hello, Nick. There, Debbie. It's very inspirational. At least I feel loved too. Okay, good. Debbie's feeling loved. So yeah. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's a question. You know what? Do you pay or don't you? Do you pay? I mean, let's put it this way. All you need to do is fling on a car guard's little red or white or yellow jacket, and you're almost guaranteed to get 10 Rand every time you just back a car out of the parking lot. But if you don't do that and you stand, or you're sitting at the side, or maybe you've got a handicap or something like that, you're looked over, or you try to be ignored when you're running around with your shopping basket, and I know a lot of people is like, bud, you'd like to sit down and talk to him and say to me, I really can't afford this. But I don't suppose that helps very much. I'm going to throw another pebble in the water. You want a good charity? You want to support a good charity? you go and support a bunch of bikers who actually start a charity. It's one thing I can tell you about the bikers. They might not have many in the fact of, or much in the fact of CEOs or a property or a proper organized organization or something like that. But when they have a get together and a run, everything that comes in goes out to that charity. The problem is, does that charity have an administration or not, or whatever? But when they do something, and I know I've been part of them, there is no CEO and there is no admin fees and things like that. Most of, if not all of that funding comes from the bank account that has been collected up from club fees and collections and things like that. And it goes to the charity. And funnily enough, your best and most successful, and if you're wanting to make sure your money goes to where it's going, you support a biker's charity. You support their run, or you support their collection, or you get together, and you know that this is going to go to the right spot. Just another point of looking at things. Empathy and digression goes a long way. Yeah. I'm really scrutinized. I'm so scared to put my hand down on the table, because every time I put my hand on the table, my wife's going to tell me I look like I'm in a go-kart. Empathy and digression goes a long way. It's very difficult, and it's a heart-rending situation. I'm really scrutinized the charities I support. The one, for example, had a soup kitchen, 3501 or 350 liters, 350 liter soup kitchen. I'm kidding, 3501 soup, and a bucky load bread. You know, sometimes your poorest charities probably do more because they're hands-on and on the ground. What's Arbot say? Have you seen what's happening in Philadelphia, USA? More NGOs and NPOs than homeless are on the streets, and the homeless on the streets multiply daily. Yeah, well, you know what? We were talking about NGOs and NGO companies in Cambodia, for instance. And I said it's like opening up a church in South Africa. If you don't know what to do and you don't have money or anything like that, chuck a tent up next to the road, put a cross on the front, throw in a pulpit, and you've got money, bro. Because you just got people coming to church. There we go. You got a church, you got people giving. Sad, but true. You need an actual church with an actual reason, with the actual heart behind it. We've got to be careful where our money goes these days. And when you give it to the person, and that's why I said, even when it's the little boy next to your car in the street, is it going to him? Or is it going to the guy who's sitting under the tree, forcing him to walk in amongst the traffic because he's the small, cute one, and he has to come and give the money there? What's Hendo say? Way too much money gets siphoned off for the top staff of charities, comfortable lifestyles. Well, if you've seen these very big charities, these big charitable organizations, they, as I said, they've got CEOs that live the life of a corporate CEO. You know, they've got the cars, they've got the houses, and they've got the money. Now, if you're running a charity, there's only one way you are getting that money in, and that's from collections, it's from donations, it's from support, it's from something meant for your charity. And if you feel that it's the right thing to do to support your lifestyle before you give the charity, and as the Bible says, it's not the first tenth, it's not the last tenth, it's the first tenth that you've got to give. So they should actually be giving out money before sorting themselves out. And I'm not saying they need to be living on a shanty down the street, by no means. But all I'm saying is they should have a humble home in a walled-in complex or whatever, with a everyday average vehicle. I'm not saying it has to be secondhand, can be a new vehicle with a humble home, but they have the top brass. And these are from the top ones. And once again, who was saying it? Nick, if I'm not mistaken, was you, who was saying you have a soup kitchen. Big difference. You'll probably find that soup kitchen has not even touched having some kind of big entourage get together or whatever. They are probably begging themselves to get the little bit of input or a little bit of donation that they get, and then put everything they can to it. The charities that are really giving all are not getting what the charities who give to everyone. And I think a lot of people give to these big charities because it is not for the sake of charity, but for the sake of their own conscience. I think so many big corporations or big spenders or whatever, I'll just give 1,000 or 10,000 to this charity over there. Yeah, let me write the check so you know who it's from. But the bottom line is, it's not for the charity, it's for their conscience. It's like taking a bit of a pill at night. It helps you sleep a little, doesn't it? Where we much siphoned off from the top staff charities. Support hospices. There we go. How's that for another charity? Multiplying. They are, because are they really being self-enrichment? There we go. Are they really being helped? If our, and once again, I'm talking worldwide here as well. I'm not only talking South Africa. I'm talking worldwide when I talk charities, when I talk CEOs. I mean, I'm talking, have you seen these Hollywood people that almost have an Oscar evening? That evening costs millions to put together. And the dresses and the clothes and everything wears to take probably 30% of what comes into that charity. I'm just pulling fingers off money off the top of figures off the top of my head. What's Fiona saying? Durban, back in 1997, the car guards were just pitching up to take your money, and then they vanished. Well, these days, I say, there is nothing as magical as a car guard. You think David Copperfield could disappear and appear? I would walk into a parking lot and I would look around. I would actually want to give the car guard money. So I would look around to try and see if I could see the car guard, not find him. But I'm telling you, when that car starts and you put it into reverse, magically, that man appears in your rearview mirror starting to help you out. He's been watching your car all the time, probably from some secret spot that you did not know, but he's there for the bucks. Go-kart, Andre Sunday ride streams. What's it, go-kart? Andre Sunday ride streams. I did go-karting the other day. You should have seen me. You should have seen me. You don't take me to a play park and expect me not to go on the Ferris wheel, on the bumper cars and the go-karts. I was on them all. You know what? If I had a little few more screens and things, I'd actually show you. But I'm not going to try and go there because I'm just going to leave dead air for a long time. What's it? Hendo, spot on. Hence, loving the flags for this go. Oh, the go-kart racing. Are you talking about what my wife's talking about now? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. You're going to have to forgive me. As I said, if I hop a little bit, I'm really excited tonight. Okay. What's it? Also in India, children professional beggars, and in South Africa. I'm not putting that past either. This is the problem I'm saying. We have people who do it for a living, and then we have people who do it for a necessity. How do we call a judgment difference, and how do our hearts feel, or how does our heart go? I mean, no, I bumped the table again. I mean, to walk past somebody who's sitting there old and sickly with his hat on the floor as you're walking out of Spa. Well, firstly, you know what? I've maybe spent the last bit of money that I had on a loaf of bread and a roll of polony. I've probably used my debit card because I don't have any money on me. I don't in Cambodia at all because everything gets paid by phone. You just scan and pay. I mean, even at the little coffee shop, it's $1.25 for a coffee. We scan for $1.25. So I don't have the money on me. I've got to try and make as if it wasn't there, because I don't care what you say. If you anybody with any feelings or any kind of emotion or anything whatsoever in you, it does tug on your heartstrings. We sit at a restaurant, and a lot of the restaurants here have chairs and that on the pavement, and quite often you'll have somebody either with a baby. That's the best marketing tool out, with a baby, or the kid comes, or the person will walk up and stand next to your table while you are eating. You develop the worst case of indigestion ever when that happens to you. Needs the Italian flag. You people and your blasted go-karting. And I can't sit still enough. I'm going to sit on the floor with my laptop next time, not on my mobile table. It's a fold open table, people. I'm trying very, very hard not to touch the table, but I've got to touch the mouse to be able to go down on your. What's Buzzy say, Pepazeka? It's what I'm going to have to do to the car guarding. A lot of people have been left to that, and sometimes we justify because we usually, I mean, who doesn't give money to the car guards? Usually, I'm telling you, whether you can dig up the cents that have fallen underneath your car mat. What I was surprised at is the amounts that we give. I used to feel pretty good before I left South Africa when I put R2 into their hand and went, thanks, buddy. You know what? You're lucky it's me. I've given you R2. Now, R5 is like, you know what? I'm sorry you're short. Would you like the R5 back? You know, because car guards are used to $10 a time at the moment. And we try and justify it by saying, at least they're doing something. Well, at least they are, but is everybody going to become car guards? Can we fit that many car guards in? And yeah, I'm going to blame the government straight out because there's definitely relief that should be going places. And once again, they're doing exactly the same as what any NGO with a huge corporation, a CEO, etc., is doing. They're siphoning every bit of the money off to themselves. And the only thing that they're making space for is a T-shirt and a food package when it comes to election time. But how do we deal with it? So I totally agree, but when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That is the whole thing. I know we've got a couple of people who do very good things for people. You see them on Facebook and on YouTube and everything. Go, hello, and would you like another R100 with that? And thanks for the Coke, Baba. But here's another R100 for you. And I tell you what, here's another R100 for you. And here's another R100 for you. And could you start crying? It actually gets me more views if you cry as well. Okay, there we go. You're crying. So there's another R100 for you as well. No, I agree. You should do it quietly. I agree with what you say there. Soup kitchens run by volunteers is the way to do it. And those are usually the poor buggers that suck on the hind teat. You need to act the part. Flashy and expensive cars to beg from millionaires. Easing their conscience. Yeah, that's it. It's when you're a millionaire signing your 10,000 or 100,000 rand check to a very big, large charitable corporation, I'm telling you that you're signing over somebody's paycheck there, and it's your conscience, not what you want to. Sometimes people will give to charity to have power in decisions made. Yeah. Like Bill G with the WHO. I like small grassroots charities. Yes. Find the charities. So I agree, guys. Let's actually start wrapping up at what we're looking at here. We need to give what we can, but we need to give wisely. So yes, it's not always wise to give to the man in the street, because the man in the street is often a manipulator or being manipulated. Not necessarily always. So there I'll agree with what Arbot says. You know what? When you can, because we don't always have A, the money on us, B, or the ability to do so, give food. You know what? If nothing else, at least that person has had a meal. You know what? You walk out of a restaurant, I don't know. Look at me. Do I look like I leave leftovers? No, so I don't usually have leftovers. But I mean, maybe when you're buying something and you're buying something with that debit card of yours, put an extra bun and a piece of bologna in there. You know what? If you don't give it to anybody, at least you can eat it when you get home. But if you don't, at least you can't walk by and say, and I know you don't think of it, I don't think of it either, but at least you don't walk by anyone and say, well, you know what, sorry, I've only got my plastic on me and there's nothing I can do about it. But yes, let's be clever and actually take a look at the charities that actually struggle. Take a look at the churches, the charities, the people who actually put their. You've seen the little people. You've seen the little people, the people who live so humbly that struggle to make it themselves, yet they go out and feed people on the street themselves. He's not driving a CEO BMW. He's not living in Santon. He doesn't even know where his meal from tomorrow will come, but he's making sure that at least 4, 5, 6 other people are eating. That's a good idea. When you stop at a petrol station, garage, whatever, do we tip the... So, I'm asking the question, do we tip the petrol attendant when he puts fuel in for us? Yes or no? Do we pay car guards when they park us or when they appear, when they unpark us? And do we give to people begging on the streets or disabled people standing around? Yeah, Hendo's hammering it now. Never mind those so-called foundations like Gates, etc., doing dodgy work pretending to save the third world. I think he was busy with toilets or something the other day. That should really feed a nation. They don't even have enough shit to fill a toilet, but he's busy making user-friendly toilets for them. Who am I to judge? Maybe he's got a good heart, or maybe he's also just sorting out his conscience. Sorry, Debbie, we're all seasick. I'm sorry. It keeps... It's this table. See, Sean, I'm in your side of the world today. I'm on the boat. I'm going to try very hard to sit still for the next 15 minutes. Was Andre drinking and driving the go-karts? Soaping like a Cambodian fish. Dude, if I was soaping like a Cambodian fish, I'd be a freaking teenage mutant ninja turtle if you check what goes into these rivers. We need proof of that go-kart event. Jeez. Let me see if I can do something about this, but I don't want to. I don't want to try because I'm going to mess up everything like that. What is this thing called? Telegram. I think it's not big pictures anyway. And it did open. I don't know where it is now. I can't find it. It was sent to me quite a while ago. When did we go? Week before last. Okay, here's a video. See if I can do something about entertaining your laughability there. They're big videos. I don't know how it's going to work. Let me try and share that. I'd just like to point out that it's the go-kart in the lead. It's coming down from the top left-hand corner there. It's the go-kart in the lead that's me. Yeah, that's me in the lead. That one in the front, yeah, that's me. There with the. I just wanted to mention that. What is this one? Jeez. Then I will show you that I'm not a party pooper. Unfortunately, I cannot share this music because it doesn't play. I can't. There, the one in the purple car that is driving brilliantly is me. Just look at those moves. Just look at those moves, Drew. That's when you put teachers at a fair, at a fun park, dude. Just look at that steering ability. That is in Cambodian traffic. Check at that. Check at that maneuverability. Look at that maneuverability. Going around the accident. What a safe driver. And then helping the other person out. That's Paul, our computer teacher. There we go. Antony, check at those moves. Rounding up the sheep. How's that? Rounding up the sheep. You don't get better than that. What's this other one? No, you don't want to see any more of that. I don't know if you'll be able to see much on this one. I'll try this one again as well. I want to invite. It's really difficult trying to share two screens on one laptop, yeah. But I just like to point out the winner again. Just like to point out the one coming around the front here is yours truly. Okay, now they go underneath and it goes a whole track at the back. I'd just like to point out the one in the front again being yours truly. The other car notably seconds behind. Once again, the car coming out there on the right-hand side is in the lead. Notably seconds behind is the other car, but yours truly driving down the straight at breakneck speed. The other car notably almost minutes behind now. Take a look at those corners being taken. Schumacher couldn't do those corners like that. Breakneck speed corners. Look at the other bike. I caught. Minutes behind. Really, we couldn't do it better. There we go. Now you see what I really look like in a go-kart. Okay, I done one. There we go. Yeah, like BL Paquetti. Let's see. There's someone that begs at our checkers. My neighbor tried to give her a job. She declined because she makes more. That is the other situation we have. Spot on there, Cameron. And I've had more than one occasion like that, including one of my own where I found that somebody has declined a form of work because it has not brought in what they do. You know, I think you lose a lot of dignity in the process. How's it? Who's it? Leeuwen Jansen van Rensburg. Leeuwen, how are you? Welcome to Pepper's Echo. Just me waffling along here. We're busy talking about giving. And of course, now we're looking at people winning. Giving money to charity can be written off by the tax man. That's another thing. You need to take some tax off. There we go. Do you do diligence to charities? Give to genuine charities. Genuine charities. And you know what, guys? I'm going to say something here as well. I'm not saying don't think of far off people, but charity starts at home. Find a soup kitchen in your neighborhood. Don't go and look for the latest Johannesburg Limelight Big Bang charity that is going to ship off new toilets to Ethiopia. Find the person in your neighborhood who's doing a soup kitchen for there. Put a polony sandwich in your shopping basket when you buy shopping because you're only using your debit card. Spend the extra 2, 3, 4. I don't know how much the polony sandwich costs these days. R5. Put it in there if you're going to give it to someone. The little guy begging next to your car. The chap under the tree doesn't want his polony sandwich. He wants the money from him. Cameron, it's quite shocking. Yeah. Sadly, people have actually lost. Now, this is the problem. A lot of people won't beg due to integrity. The people who don't need to. A lot of people have been driven to it and have had to take that last bit of integrity. That's why I think I showed you. If I didn't show you, I was showing other people a thing about a lady who was buying eggs. And she came to a guy who was selling eggs on the side of the road. And she said, how much for an egg? And she said, how much for your eggs? He said, it's a rand an egg, ma'am. She says, well, look here, I'm taking 12 eggs and I'm paying you 10 rand, okay? He says, well, ma'am, he says, I haven't sold any eggs today yet, so that's what you want to pay for 12 eggs? What can I do? So she saw it as this massive victory. And off she went, paying 10 rand for 12 eggs. And then she went to meet her friend at a restaurant and had this wonderful slap-up meal. Anything between 400 and 450 rand later, she handed the guy at the till 500 rand and said to him, don't worry, honey, keep the change, and walked out as if he actually needed it that badly. Not that people who work at restaurants and that don't need it badly or anything like that. But all I'm saying is her victory over somebody poor on the side of a street. And then someone had written that her father used to buy things at asking price from people at markets and off the street and things to that effect. Obviously, you've got to be careful that you don't get ripped off totally, because I'm careful here as well. I don't mind paying a tuk-tuk driver for a ride, but when he's charging me $10 for a ride that I know is only worth $2, I don't mind paying the dollar or the $1.50 extra. But I do mind when I'm being ripped off. But she always asked her father, why do you pay asking price and then sometimes give $1 extra? And he said, he looked at her and he said, you know what? That's charity with integrity. That's keeping somebody's integrity intact. I do it with tuk-tuk sometimes. Someone will go, yeah, tuk-tuk ride, $5 home. And I'm like, not a chance, brother. And I'll pull out my app and I'll show him. It's going to cost me $2 home. And it's this way and it's that way. And some will just walk away and the others, and eventually you'll go, and some will go, okay, give me the $2, I'll take you home. And then I'll wait and I'll see. And if he actually does it with a really good heart or whatever, I'll sometimes give him the $1 or $2 more at the end and say, you know what, you really did well. Thank you. I had a guy the other evening. He had to take me home in a rainstorm. It was in a car, in a vehicle. But I know they don't get much through the app. And then at least I think 15% of what you are charged. And it came to about $5. But it took him an hour and a half. And how do I know it was an hour and a half? Because I sat in the back of the car and I had to take a car because it was raining and the roads are flooding and everything. And a tuk-tuk would never have made it. And it took him an hour and a half. I know it was an hour and a half because I watched a whole movie on my Netflix on my phone in the back of the car. By the time I got home, I think there was 15 minutes of the movie left. And it took him an hour and a half. No complaints, anything. He quietly, neatly drove me all the way back there, dropped me off. Thank you very much. I gave him another $5 because what should have taken us 20 minutes, 25 minutes max, took us an hour and a half, and it's his money and his time and his bread and butter. And that's sometimes how I give to people who are needing, because I know these people sometimes have normal jobs and do driving jobs and that as well. Shaking Stevens, Andre today. Hendo, get off my shakes, dude. I'm nervous. I told you. And every time my arm sticks to this table and I put it off and we do some more, okay? I hate tipping petrol attendants. Their salaries are high, danger pay, working with flammable chemicals. They hardly ever ask to check oil or water anymore, never mind tires. It depends. Some of them are pretty neat about it and really good. And also, depending on their attitudes as well. You know what? If you help me with the attitude that I'm supposed to be helped, most definitely, I try and put a buck or two in there for you. I don't know what it's supposed to be these days. As I said, R2 used to be a lot. Apparently, it's sneered at these days. But yes, I agree with you. I don't think their pay is as high as what it should be, although they are under union pay, so can't be too bad. But I don't think they have the best jobs, and I also think they get these real crappy, arrogant, you will do for me people that pull up there all the time. They're going to put up with their snarling attitudes half the time as well. So I'm always very friendly. So if I don't give money, I'd at least try and give a smile, and I at least try and be friendly, and I try and give a good attitude, etc. Especially if I can't, if it's a company card or something like that. And as I said, I don't really carry cash around me. I am really sorry, but a good smile would do great. But some of these people are really super and actually make your day. Some of them really just go out of their way and make your day. What's Debbie saying? Oh, true story. Wacha, you do too, and pack your own groceries and clean your own homes. Yeah, it's sort of like you fight the guy off from the trolley who wants to push your trolley from the supermarket to, like, we go down from our supermarket to the pavement so that we can put the packets in the trolley. Now I know I don't have cash on me, so I'm like fighting the guy. Give the trolley here. And the security guard is like, I'll push the trolley. And I'm like, no, you won't. I'll push the trolley. And I know it's only 1,000 or 2,000 real, which is what, 25 cents, and that's dollar cents, so it's even less in rands. But when I don't have the cash on me, I feel so bad to let him push that trolley for me as well. So I like fight the trolley off him. What's it? Ina can attest if you were behaved. Of course I was behaved. I wasn't there. Your popcorn moment. Zoom. SPCA hospice are kept going on donations from the public. Yeah, how many of them actually do? You don't see. Remember the days when my mom used to do it for the Anti-TB Association and places like that. Remember the tunnies used to stand at the entrances of the shops and that with their little tins. And it's usually the old ladies, because the young people didn't want to do it. And you just usually find an old chap or an old lady, and they used to give you a sticker so that you knew you'd actually given, so that the next person wouldn't give you a look or something like that. And they used to stand with those tins, and then you used to put some coins in the tins, and they used to put a sticker on you so the next person could see that you'd given. You walk around with like a little SPCA sticker or a little heart sticker or whatever sticker it was on there. I don't know if you remember that. In the speeding fine, 500 rand. I was too fast, bro. You saw they couldn't catch me. Nothing. Yeah, no, you don't take me. Bumper cars having fun. You don't take me to a play park. As old as what I am, you don't take me to a play park and don't have me play. He would have been in hysterics. I'm telling you. 200 rand Coca-Cola. And Nick says, tip petrol attendants, legit car guards, but draw the line on beggars. We have a huge problem with druggies in the area where I stay, and I will not support someone's drug habits. Nick, you're right there. Sadly, these days, I think we need to end up picking who we give to. But we've got to pick who we give to when I say that. And sometimes giving to a charity is not giving to a charity. We've got to pick the charity that we give to these days. And yeah, pick a sandwich if you're going to give to someone on the street. They must make bumper car streets legal. Tuk-tuk training for his license. Dude, I could drive a tuk-tuk better than any of these tuk-tuk drivers. And let's get down. I am so far behind with your comments. It's just not funny. I'm only getting to the go-karts. A lot of beggars buy glue drug. Sadly, I can't disagree with you there. It's true. The problem is telling the difference. Decades since I've been on a bumper car. Nick, I think it's time you join me on them bumper cars, buddy. What's it, White Zulu? You maniac! We need to put a bell on you, Schumacher. You see, that's how I can just see you flipping Fiona chasing behind us on those go karts. I'm telling you, I'd probably have a hard time sticking ahead then. Michael Schumacher in the house, baby. You know it. Have no idea today I slammed into a doorpost. Daydreaming. Yeah, Nick, they all said it was apparently the weight advantage. Okay, I said the weight advantage should slow you down, but apparently it's what keeps the wheels on the ground, apparently. So, yeah, I also got that one. Support your local kids. Yeah, charity starts at home. This is what I'm saying. Look after the people in your vicinity, in your area. Know that the money's going back around. If everybody just, who's the dude who went to... I've forgotten the whole story. Pastor Carl will probably shoot me now if he was still on, but I think he's gone off because he's got church. It's the only day that he works. No, I'm kidding. But the thing is, Nehemiah, if I'm not mistaken, he went and they had to rebuild the city. And they went, Nehemiah, how are we going to do that? How are we going to rebuild the city? And he said, well, we start with each person building the wall in front of his own house. And if we all just started building the wall in front of our own houses, we'd be able to help a lot more people because everybody would be building around their areas instead of trying to pick what makes me look good or what stops me feeling guilty. How's it, Dylan? How are you keeping, buddy? Always good to see you as well. I'm going to run through these because I want you to trust me. As a former waiter in the UK, we don't get paid much. You get taxed on your tips, or the boss takes the tips to cover for your room and food. Talking about past experience. Jeez, dude. Yeah, well, that's what I say. Hectic. What Sean says. Sean says a rich man has as much chance of getting into heaven that a camel has of getting through the eye of a needle. Corinthians. Give the wealth away. Yeah, you're not really going to get it taken with you, hey? May karma teach him a lesson. That's just wrong. Saw now with the best attitude. My English ex used to haggle with the curio sellers at Zululand roadside. It was so embarrassing, especially as the woman was so poor. He said they expected it. No. You've got to be careful. As I said, I've been taken for a ride before at the Russian market. I've never paid so much for an iron before. I thought it was a good deal until we went into a very expensive shopping mall and found that the iron there, exactly the same as what I bought in the Russian market, was $2 cheaper. So I was like, yeah. So it's good to see what it's worth, and to note that someone's not ripping you off, but to note that you can't get a bargain. There is nobody wins in a bargain. It's not like I'm going to pay you less, but you'll get a sale. That doesn't end up in a win-win. Somebody loses there. So if you win, the person who's needing it most loses. There we go. Especially on social media. So true. Yeah, there we go. Sean, true. There we go, Debbie. Exactly. You can't take it with you. Hendo says, Sean, I knew someone personally like that who rubbed shoulders with Bill Gates, Rothschilds, and Ramses, but too cheap to pay folks properly. That's the whole thing. You'll find that the poorest people are the people who are usually willing to help. That's why we're all poor. No, I'm kidding. That was a dirty joke, Andre. But yeah, what I'm saying is you help each other. Yeah, no, another gate. The gate. There is a gate around that was called Eye of the Needle in Jerusalem. Yeah, basically, if I'm not mistaken, at night when they closed the main gate, you could only go through the little gate. Was called the Eye of the Needle, and the camels couldn't actually get through there. They somehow, if your camel was small enough to actually fit in there width-wise, they'd have to get onto their knees, and you'd have to crawl your camel somehow to actually get him through there. Otherwise, you'd have to leave him outside to actually get through the eye of the needle until the gates open the next day. Somehow, it's a story that I've heard. Our charities, yeah, give out stickers. I don't care if they give out stickers. That's nice. It's, you know what, say, I don't mind getting a sticker on me to say that, when I walk past the next one that I have given. Humphrey the dog in Umhlanga raised great funds for SPCA, over $1 million. Phenomenal. And I'm telling you, Humphrey didn't take a CEO's salary either. I need to get these things finished. Yes, Dylan, normally don't mention my difficulties in the UK. Keep it to myself. Yeah, you know what, Hendo, I have no doubt that you are a happier face than what your heart actually has to carry as well. And that is the one thing I think that every single one of these viewers of my stream, which my heart actually I can say bleeds for you guys, because I know from a lot of knowing you people, speaking to you people, that most of you are so upbeat, suffer more than the normal person on the street. And I so appreciate that attitude. I really, really do. I think it is absolutely outstanding from all of you out there. It's sad that I can't get rich and famous on you, hey? Because none of you buggers ever going to have the money to give to me. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, I know for a fact that you all wrestle a certain amount of demons, be it emotionally, physically, financially, in any way. And sometimes it's really, and that's why I very much look up to you guys. And I will very, very much salute you. But without further ado, poor people, no, I'm kidding. I will tip my hat gracefully and say to you, give what you can, where you can, identify where you give to, when you give. And sometimes you can't give financially. So I would suggest that if you can't, a smile is sometimes a lot more than the face that looks away and tries to deny that I exist. But sometimes a nod, a smile, find the charities in your backyard. Find more of you people. Find more of you. Take care of each other. Be good. And if you can't be good, be kind. Cheers, guys. Fuck.